Hi everyone, my name is Shantasia. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to give you a quick update on our current work in progress, and unfortunately I was doing an online search to see how I was doing with my author platform and if it was showing up in the Google searches, and I discovered that there is a book out there and a CD that share the same place name as the novels that we have been working on since 2007-ish. So I went to Quora and I made an inquiry of some of the great publishing minds and the other writers that are on there, and the consensus is that we have to change the title of our series. I am bummed. There's no other word for it. I've pretty much just moped about it for about 3 days. Because like I said, we've been writing on this, or working on this, since 2007. We're really attached to this name. We've been writing it forever. 2007, it's been forever. So we really had thought that this was really solidified. We had worked very hard to name our planets and name our society, and with this planet name being a central part of the conflict in the story, it's really important that we stand out from the rest of the other authors and not get caught up into a cease and desist situation or some kind of infringement, even though it's unintentional. This author beat us to it. She wrote a book. She named it what she named it. I'm sure it's an amazing story. I have it on my TBR now because I am curious as to what she did with it. But it puts us in a place where we have to think about another name. And that's not just another name for the planet, it's another name for the whole series, because that is the name of the series. It had the planet name in it. So we've been doing some research, my sister and I, and haven't really come up with anything. We have something that we could possibly develop into a title, but I mean, we're standing there on Google and we're just researching all these other words that are a part of the same definition of the original title, and everything has been used. Like, it is in popular science fiction fantasy books, and you want to stand out. Now, I understand that you can't trademark or copyright a word, but we don't want to have our work be associated with someone else's because of a similar title or a similar series name. We want it to stand out for itself, and we don't want to offend anybody. We don't want to get into any issues. So it's been a frustrating couple of days, all because I was researching a name for our company, our publishing company, and then I decided to go and look at how I was doing with promoting our AuthorTube and all the other things that are going on with our author platform, and I type in the title of our series and everything, these two things popped up but not ours, and I was like, oh crap, what do we have to do now? So it is what it is. We're back to the drawing board. We've kind of been consoling ourselves because we are in a phase where it will be easier to make the corrections. We haven't ordered our ISBN numbers. We haven't applied for copyright. The only thing that really affects us is that we had to contact our cover artist and let him know that he needed to stop production because he's been working on 3 covers for us. So it's going to stay the same. The covers are amazing and beautiful, and I cannot wait to share them because they are amazing. And if I saw them on the shelf, I would be like, give me that book. I need to read it. So I'm super excited about the cover. We just have to come up with a new name for our society, a new name for our planet, and have it be consistent with what's going on with our story and also be consistent with the theme of the story, because it really became a huge part of like interpreting and the theme of the story and the mission of the whole entire series. But now we have to go back to the drawing board, and it's fine because it's going to be better. We're going to stand out. We're not going to cause problems or cause a scene or cause another author to feel like we're infringing upon their rights and their imagination and their world and their dreams and goals for their story. So that makes me happy that we are able to acknowledge that. I mean, it happens. I'm sure this isn't the first time it's happened in the whole wide world that someone has gone out there and realized that something that they are working on and have been working on for many years is someone else's property already, or someone else has put their stamp on it in a way that you don't want to compete or you can't compete. So we're just going to roll with the flow, but I wanted to give everyone a quick update and let you know where we are on that. I did go back and did a bunch of edits, which I probably shouldn't have, but it really was a mess after NaNoWriMo. It was the first time that I've really read through it since NaNoWriMo 2017, and I'm really happy with where we are. It's a very polished manuscript, which is just strange because this is only the second time that we have gone back. The first time it was more of I decided to go into it with just my characters and the theme of my story, knowing where I wanted it to start and where I wanted it to end, and working it that way. But then I kind of got lost in it and ended up with some really good scenes, but nothing flowed properly. So I went back to the drawing board. Lynna and I created a storyline together and decided we were going to co-author this particular book, the first book, which we have to retitle, and I'm not going to talk about it until I'm sure that we have a title that we're going to go with. But we really have been working very hard on this first one, because like I said in another video, we've been working on this since 2007, and we started with 2 different books, thinking that her book was the first one and that mine would be the second. And then as we're getting into the series and we're starting to have all these ideas about new characters and new storylines that are going to drive the series forward, we really realized that these 2 books were not at all the first and second book. In fact, my book I think ends up being like the 7th book. Because what we ended up doing is we ended up making a timeline with the beginning, middle, and end to visualize the growing conflict within the stories, so that we could have a build and have people continue to come back and want to see what's happening instead of hitting like a plateau. We really wanted the stories to just build and build and build and build and build until that final book where it's just absolute mind-blowingly cool. So we did that, and it just really opened our eyes that we have probably 12 to 15 books in this series if we can get it done the way that we want to do it. And we halted writing. She was working on 2 different manuscripts at the same time. I was working on 2 other manuscripts at the time. And we decided to put all those aside and work on this first book, which is the story that starts it all. The one person that is in a very public platform, and she realizes that the things that are going on in their society are really wrong and really detrimental, and that she is actually a victim of the atrocities that are being committed against human beings in the story. And we really realized that that first story was way more important to tell than we thought. We wanted to really launch it from not the beginning of where the slavery and the bigotry against these people began, because that happened many generations previously, but to start it where people really started waking up and realizing that the things that were going on in their society were wrong. So that's a bit of a ramble, a bit of extra information that I really wasn't planning on sharing, But thanks for watching. I really hope that you enjoy the content, and if you have any ideas or any thoughts about the subject, please leave a suggestion or comment below. I always look forward to hearing from people. And thank you to everyone for all the warm welcomes. I was really thrilled to see that my introduction to YouTube and my AuthorTube newbie tag was responded to by so many people. Hello! I'm looking forward to see all of your videos for sure. I've already visited several channels and I think I've followed you all because you all have amazing content. But in that, I will leave you and I will say thank you again. Thank you so much for being a part of my journey and for allowing me to be part of yours. I'll talk to you later. Bye.